Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video, and today we are taking a flight from Tokyo Haneda Airport to Osaka International, of course, in Osaka. Of course, this is using the almost brand new, it's a month old now, the brand new Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is honestly absolutely gorgeous. I love this game, I adore it. I just wish the optimization was better, but you know, we'll get into that in a bit. Alright, and we are in. So, go ahead and, yep, fuel and payload, they're looking fine. VFR map, that's showing our heading. And Tokyo Tower is saying that we are cleared for takeoff. Okay, that's great for us. Yes, this is a fairly early morning in Haneda, well, in Tokyo at Haneda Airport. And we're going to just be taking a nice, leisurely flight across Japan down to Osaka. Currently flying in a Citation Cessna CJ4, which is a pretty nice little, private jet. And I will admit, I did fluff up the takeoff on this one. Landing, pretty damn nice. Takeoff, completely fluffed it. I don't know what it is, but with every Microsoft Flight Sim that I've ever used, this one, 2008, I think it's 2008, I can't remember, Microsoft Flight Simulator X, every last version, I always have issues. In that whatever aircraft I like to fly, it always likes to just veer to the right whilst you're on the runway. Never to the left, it's always veering to the right, and it's every aircraft. I don't know what this is. I swear I can't be the only one that's noticed this thing. Because I'm always used to flying, I think it's either 747 or 737, in the older ones. And the same thing happens here, it always wants to lean to the right, regardless of where the runway is, regardless of what the runway is, regardless of what the plane is. It's just a weird thing that I've noticed. Anyway, but what are we currently doing? We're currently climbing through, hopefully, up to 30,000 knots by the end of our climb, so a nice cruising altitude, and currently we're going pretty damn fast, around 260 knots. Current altitude is just going through 6,400 now. And it's looking pretty nice. Japan, Tokyo, it's a gorgeous place. Just having a bit of a look around. You can see down in the bottom right there is Mount Fuji. Yes, because I've actually flown this a couple of times now and I'm vaguely aware of what the place looks like. And we're just climbing through 15,000 feet, 15,000 feet, which seems to be the cloud layer. As you can see, we're climbing into it now. It's really nice up here. And the thing that I do love about this game is they do the clouds so beautifully. When you're looking around, the clouds look absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's have a look-see. Things looking alright, things are looking alright. I'm sure we can probably drop the throttle in a bit, because, we're only cruising, it's not like we need to go ahead and be full throttle the entire time. Alright, let's go ahead and adjust a couple of things, because might as well whilst we're here. Okay. Yeah, we definitely do need to climb to 30,000. Yes, currently our airspeed is it's fast, but it's not as fast as I'd like. See in the bottom left there, that's our airspeed indicator. That's not actually accurate. That's, airspeed that is indicated, not actual airspeed. Our actual airspeed is just below that TAS. That is our actual airspeed. As you can see, it's hovering at around 380 knots. And by the time that we should be up at altitude, it should be a little over 400. Of course, we're only around about 22,000 feet right now. Be nice if I could tell where we were by now. I'm not mistaken, we should be around about a third of the way to Osaka by now. Because obviously I'm not going to make you all sit through like an hour-long flight. Because, whilst I do love this game and I do love the way that it looks, I'm not going to go ahead and just force you all to sit around as I fly for an hour. Also, you can pick this game up. I really recommend you do. Best thing you can do if you haven't used Game Pass yet, try it Yeah, you haven't used Game Pass yet, try out Game Pass. I think it's like $1 or a pound for the first month, and then it actually goes up to the full price. In which case, that's really the best way to experience this, because, well, one, you pay bugger all, and two, it gives you full access to this. And honestly, I say it's really worth it, because this game is just, it's gorgeous, it's fabulous, it's fun to play. Not to mention, it's a real good time sink. If you just want to kill a few hours, what better way to do it than literally flying, across the world? It's not like you're limited by destination either. You can literally go to literally any airport in the entire world. Hell, I've even gone ahead and flown from a couple of the local airports around where I am. No, not really airports, they are literally just runways of various types. I think, well, the nearest ones to me is just a cargo port. So I'm trying to think what it is. I think it's like I think it's an Airbus factory or something. I can't remember. It's moderately far away from me. But it's pretty nice, and if you are particularly bored, what you can always do is find an airport near where you live and hell, fly over your house. Okay, we are just hitting about a third, probably closer to 2/5 point right now. But yeah, you can fly over your house in this, because on top of that, every last one of the buildings, whilst they're not an actual representation of that real building, they are at least somewhat modelled, which means you can actually go and see your own house if you just want to go and see your own house, flying overhead. And it's actually pretty damn cool. It's kind of weird being able to see something so familiar, but so different, because, it doesn't look like how it should. But it's still familiar, because obviously you've got the layout, you've got pretty much everything in the right way, but it's not the right way. It's weird. Seriously, I recommend you go and try it. Just pick this game up, go and fly a plane over your house, and just look at it for a minute. It's really weird. Anyway, I believe, yep, we are finally at altitude. We are now cruising at around 31,000 feet. We're currently at 3930-ish. We have officially hit the halfway point, as you can go ahead and see on the VFR map there. And things are looking absolutely gorgeous. It does look like the clouds are a bit heavier over here than where we started. You can see they're a little bit grayer. And yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I know I'm probably saying that way too many times, but you can't deny it. This game really is gorgeous. Being able to look around and actually just fly. Although it is also fun, this game is also just tremendous fun if you do just want to be a bit of a div, to put it nicely. Like, grab a fast plane or whatever and just start messing around. Or, learn how to fly, or do stunt stuff. One thing that I really do recommend you try at some point. Excuse me. I'm mildly tired. What I do recommend you do at some point, grab a 747, just go full throttle, pick up a lot of speed, get to a decent altitude, and then do a stall turn. So basically, exactly pause the game there. So basically, pull hard up, back on the stick, so you're going vertical. Drop the engines to literally idling. Drop flaps, drop speed brakes, literally anything you can to just reduce your speed to 0. And set your rudders to go hard over one way or another. So your rudder's either going hard to the left or hard to the right. So that basically you will go up, you will slow down to an absolute dead stop, and then your plane will just do this instant flip around. And then just pick up all its speed, and that's when you go ahead and, raise your flaps, raise your speed rate, put the engines back to full, and it's just a tremendously cool trick. I have seen a couple of stall turns in real life. I think I have seen it at least once with a large aircraft, but 747 I've never seen. It's so cool though. It really is. I hope that some of you guys actually get to see a stall turn IRL, because they are gorgeous. Also terrifying, because obviously what they're doing is they're literally stalling an aircraft. For those of you that don't know what stalling is basically when you're going so slow that your aircraft literally drops out of the sky. So it doesn't have enough speed to generate enough lift to keep moving forwards. Quite literally, dropping out of the sky. Kind of terrifying, but also kind of cool. Anyway, we're about 2/3 of the way to Osaka now, and what we're going to start doing is start decreasing our altitude. So I'm going to be hovering around that 1 to 2,000. I'm really tired. I don't know why. Anyway, so I'm going to be hovering around that 1 to 2,000 feet per however long that vertical airspeed is. Maybe a bit faster, maybe a bit slower. Oh. Okay, so we have to go ahead and roll that handoff, and we'll switch over to in a minute. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and keep that, and then we'll go ahead and drop down to just a few thousand feet. I just want to make sure that we're low enough that by the time that we are at the airport, we can actually land and not do what I've had this terrible habit of doing, and flying too high for too long and then not being able to land because I'm spending like 5 minutes trying to lose altitude. It's funny, altitude is so difficult to build up, and then once you finally have it, it is such a pain in the rear to try and lose. Anyway, a bit further now, we can see where Osaka is over there. Okay, so that is our destination. We're not too far out. Let's see, how far are we? We're not that far. So there's a Gura. Oh, bugger, I'm going over speed. Just drop the throttle. I mean, we're losing altitude anyway, so we're still gonna keep up a good speed, even though of course we are, you know, setting the engines to idle, because we're still gonna be, you know, losing altitude. We're still gonna be picking up speed, or at the very least maintaining our speed. A little bit further on, we're about halfway from where we were earlier. You see, we're starting to approach that river. Well, what looks like a river. That's, you know, not too far east of Osaka. Should be going over it relatively shortly. Seeing, debating going to a different destination, because for some reason the actual map for Osaka wouldn't load up on the VFR map, which was kind of a pain, but turns out it wouldn't be an issue by the end of this. Okay, keep flying nice and straight, nice and level. Maybe lose a bit more altitude, but we can lose that in a bit. It's not as if we have got tons of altitude, we've got just enough to keep flying safely, but also, you know, it's short enough that we can actually lose it fairly quickly. Okay, we are going over that river. You can see it down the bottom left there. Okay, so we are landing at runway 32 left. Okay, because it is 32 left, that means that 32, that is the actual heading that it's on, so it will be 320. Essentially, the runway numbers are literally the heading minus a 0. So, of course, this will be 320, so this will be pointing just slightly to the left of north. So obviously we're going to have to turn around south so we can turn around and actually line ourselves up with it. Okay, and left base runway 32L, so 32L, which means there will be 2 runways. Oh, there it is. There's the runways over there, as you could have seen. So 32 left means we are using the left runway. You can see there's also a right runway, so the one that's closer to us is the one that we're going to be landing at. Okay, now time to go ahead and lose all of our altitude as quickly as possible, because we are far closer than we should be. Yeah, when I was coming for this, I was expecting it to be a little bit further away. That is quite a bit closer than I was actually expecting it to be, but, well, beggars can't be choosers. We're here now, we're going to have to go ahead and land this thing. Really, I should have gone for a go-around, but hey, we're running short of time. Why not? Let's just put this bird down on the ground. Okay. Right, we are coming in, not too hot actually. I was expecting us to have more airspeed after something like this, but just go ahead and lose as much altitude as possible so we can line ourselves up with the runway properly and not slam into it. Okay, 1,000 feet. This is looking a bit more acceptable now. Just need to keep turning so we can actually line ourselves up with it. Come on. Almost there. 500 feet. Don't crash into the buildings. Don't crash into the buildings. Crashing into buildings is bad. And there's a runway. Getting ready to touch down. Oh, don't stall. Don't stall. And touchdown. There we go. Thank you all for flying the 117th Colony Airlines. I hope you had a wonderful flight, and we will now cut to the outro right around now. Honestly, seriously guys, go try this game out. It's brilliant. Well, it's not really a game. You know what I mean. Try it out. It's brilliant. I love it. I'm sure you guys would really love it too, especially if you have, you know, any experience with flying, or you like flying in general. But anyway, we're going to have to go ahead and cut to the outro here. So, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Any thoughts or questions, leave them in the form of a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, Discord, Twitch, and Facebook page, all of which you can find in the description down below. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell for more content from me. As always, this is the 117th Con, signing off. Stay safe out there, folks, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Until then, ta-ra, and take care.